Hi, I'm Danielle Claroni. This is Talk of the Town with ilovegreenwich.com. I am here with Food Rescue. This is Danielle, and this is Laura from Aux Délices. And this is our first time doing a food rescue.
Always wondered what happens with that extra food at the restaurants, at shopping centers, and now there is a solution. Can you just dive a little bit, Danielle, into the origin of Food Rescue and how you started?
Food Rescue was actually started 10 years ago. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and the concept came about with the fact that there's so much excess food. In fact, 40% of food from grocery stores, restaurants, farms usually ends up in landfill, which is causing two critical problems of today: hunger and food waste. Food Rescue US is very simple. We have an app that connects food donors with excess food to those who are most in need. In Greenwich, we have several social service agencies that we work with, and we have volunteers that we connect to the excess food, and they simply just take the food, put it in their car, and bring it to the social service agency down the street. Today we're here with Laura from Aux Délices, a very impactful food donor here in Greenwich.
So Danielle actually reached out to us a couple years ago, I want to say about 2 years ago, and we always are, before that, we're actively searching for who to donate to, and then when Food Rescue approached us, it's just become such an easy, seamless process, and it's great for us knowing that our surplus is going to not just one, but different organizations who need it.
Well, let me tell you, these kids are in for a treat. The food is delicious.
Definitely. You definitely have to visit Aux Délices if you haven't.
Or become a food rescuer. You can go online.
Yes, volunteer.
We're on our first rescue. Follow us to the Kids in Crisis. Deborah, thank you for letting us into your beautiful establishment here. We're on our way to Kids in Crisis, but can I get a little tour, please?
Absolutely, it'd be our pleasure. Come on in.
Okay, where do we go first?
So you're just going to bring them, you can bring them to the table.
Some of them are ribs. Be careful, okay?
That one's ripped.
The green here.
So we just got here to Kids in Crisis, where we just delivered some food from Aux Délices through Food Rescue. And Jennifer, tell me a little bit about Kids in Crisis and what Food Rescue means to you.
Okay, absolutely. So Kids in Crisis started in 1978, and it was started to help runaway teens. And since then it's grown to a children's shelter where we have 12 beds available to children, newborns age 17. We also have a 24-hour helpline for anyone that needs help of any kind. You know, doctors, parents, kids can all call for any assistance at all. We have an outreach program that helps, coordinate people in the community with different resources in terms of counseling and things like that. We also have community outreach programs where we help, go into elementary schools to have workshops to teach children to deal with their emotions, for assault prevention workshops. We we're starting sort of our own version of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's called Smart Groups for adolescents to help adolescents and their families deal with addiction. So those are just some of the things that we do. But, one of our main focus, our children's shelter. It's meant to be a temporary shelter where sometimes, things like mom is having a baby and she's a single mom. She doesn't have anyone to take care of other children. She brings her other children to the shelter while she's briefly in the hospital. Kids come here whether there's some conflict in the home, they need a little respite, a little break from mom and dad. They can also come here for that. And we're so thankful for your donations, because that frees up our counselors to be able to help the children and focus on the children and their needs rather than cooking, preparing meals, shopping. So it's just such a wonderful benefit, and we thank you so much for doing this for us. It helps us keep going, and it really makes a huge difference in the lives of the children that we have here. We really appreciate it.
And you've lost some of your funding as well, right?
We
so
did.
Food rescue is really important.
It really is. So
because you don't have to spend money on that, right?
Exactly. 7 or 8 years ago, we lost a lot of our funding. We used to be a 20-bed shelter, and we had to reduce our beds and go down to 12 beds. So we're really looking, to try to build back up again, but it's not easy without that funding.
Yeah.
So that's why the food donations mean so much, because we did lose that funding.
So how did Kids in Crisis and Food Rescue meet?
Well, Food Rescue, we've been here for 10 years, and I would say we started working with Kids in Crisis over 7 years ago. They're one of our first agencies that we work with, and we love working with them. We have about 150 agencies in Fairfield County, so most of them find us because the food that we get is top quality. It's fresh food from places like Whole Foods. Today was Aux Délices, we have King's, we have Cobb's Bread, we have Something Natural Bakery, we have, the Upper Crust Bagels, and I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, but there's so many wonderful donors in Greenwich, and we could use a lot more if anyone would like to donate. And this food will be picked up at the end of the day by one of our volunteers and is quickly brought to one of the agencies in Greenwich. And this food can help supplement their budget. They don't have to spend as much money on food, or they can buy particular food that they really need.
I absolutely love this. This is a win-win-win.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What a great combination. I mean, you're both offering services in Greenwich that everybody really needs. And we just thank you so much for putting in the time and all the work that goes into this. Thank you. Well, come and see us again at ilovegreenwich.com and do some donations here. Both of them could use some. Thanks.
Volunteer, do what we're doing.
Bye.